for questions before we break and then have our next award presentation. If anyone has a few questions for Ed.
It's striking that one of the major problems now is proliferation to other than the major powers. What do you feel is the best steps to deal with that problem? I'm thinking particularly of sort of second-rate powers like Israel, for example.
Well, it's a little late.
It's true. But what do you feel is the way to handle that problem, and is the Obama administration going to move in the direction of dealing with that problem?
Well, the Nuclear Posture Review, which came out in April, had two primary points of emphasis. One was nuclear proliferation, the other was nuclear terrorism. I mean, you wouldn't think that people would be saying that Bush and Cheney did not pay enough attention to nuclear terrorism. I mean, they were obsessed with it. But I think what the Obama people were saying is the concern with nuclear terrorism did not get reflected in U.S. nuclear weapons policy. I mean, the non-proliferation problem is, it is not nearly as bad as Jack Kennedy predicted many years ago. But as you know, we've had very little success stopping North Korea and Iran. North Korea already has nuclear weapons, and Iran may or may not be seeking nuclear weapons. That they certainly are getting close to the capability. I mean, they're now enriching uranium to 20% HEU, which is not that far away in terms of the amount of work needed to weapons grade. The UN Security Council has just passed further sanctions against Iran. I don't think anyone really expects that to stop their program. What a lot of these countries say is, well, you nuclear weapon states have not fulfilled your bargain under Article 6, which was to disarm and get rid of nuclear weapons. But this remains a huge problem, and there isn't a simple answer to it. I mean, when I give talks, skeptics ask questions like the following. If you can't stop a small, weak, isolated country like North Korea from getting nuclear weapons, how do you propose to organize the world so that nobody has nuclear weapons? And I don't have a good answer for that. That's one of the unsolved problems. Not a very good response, I'm afraid. All I can tell you, it's a very high priority in Washington. Most of the world is with us. But there are a number of the non-aligned states that think we're picking on Iran. Of course, they think there's a double standard with respect to Israel. I work for the U.S. government. I can neither confirm nor deny what Israel has. Israel itself says it has a nuclear potential. There is now agreement, I guess, from the NPT Review Conference to have a conference in 2012 to try to set up a WMD free zone in the Middle East. If we could do that, that would be a huge breakthrough. But as far as I know, Israel has not agreed to participate, and even if they did, would Iran and Syria and others agree to be in the same room negotiating with them? Neither of those has happened yet. It's the best I can do.
I wonder if you could talk a little bit about India and Pakistan and their sort of nuclear arms race and what you think about that.
India and Pakistan. I'm not an expert on India and Pakistan. I've never been to either country. Of course, the Bush administration negotiated this special deal with India, and the Obama people decided to let it go ahead. Basically, the theory was that India, although it is not a party to the NPT, and of course should be, has at least been a responsible possessor of nuclear weapons. They have not proliferated. They seem to be taking good care in terms of safety. Pakistan, of course, is more of a worry. It's not clear. I think the U.S. government is satisfied that Pakistan does have the proper procedures to protect their nuclear weapons, but there is the continued worry that terrorists could overrun, those storage sites. We are working on both of them. I don't think anyone expects either country to sign up to the NPT anytime soon. Obviously, it's in our interest that South Asia, along with the Middle East and Northeast Asia, that those problems be resolved, those security concerns, because that's what's driving the push for nuclear weapons there.
Thank you, Ed, and congratulations.